Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori, and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord, keepers of the old way, but accept some of the new. We love to cook, and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. This video is brought to you by my Volume 1, Blessed Table Cookbook, and my Volume 2, Just That Easy Cookbook. Blessed Table is $20 and includes shipping. Just That Easy Cookbook is $28, which includes shipping to Lori Brown, P.O. Box 1183, Imboden, Arkansas 72434. So today we're going to be, I'm just going to show you a little bit about what's going on in my cottage garden. I think y'all really going to like it. Mr. Brown's been working really hard trying to get it done. And I'm going to be making some cinnamon rolls, but I'm going to make some lemon rolls too. And I just thought y'all might want to come along for that. And they're going to be delicious. And I got the lemon roll recipe I got from Tashia over at Country Living with Tashia. And I'll be putting her link down below so y'all can go check her out because you'll absolutely love her. She's just a country gal from up in the mountains of Kentucky, and like us, she loves the Lord, and she does a lot of good cooking, and her and her husband are building an off-grid cabin up in the mountains, and it's just she's just a real sweet lady. So anyways, when I saw her making these lemon rolls, which is almost like making a cinnamon roll, but I've never made lemon rolls like this before. I've never used the kind of filling that she did, and when I saw her doing this, I thought this has to be delicious. So I wanted to make some, and anyways, so that's and also I wanted to make just some regular cinnamon rolls with maybe some apples or something like that. And I even might make a salad or something, but whatever I'm cooking today or stirring up, I'll just bring y'all along, plus our garden and just a few little this and that's. So we'll start all day with some breakfast and making some lemon rolls. How about that? Okay, we've got our cup of warm milk here. It needs to be anywhere from 95 to 110 Fahrenheit. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons. You can use active dry yeast, or you can use your instant yeast, either one. 2 teaspoons. I always just make it a habit. I've done it forever. If you use an instant yeast, a lot of people don't even want to let it bloom. They just want to put it in with their flour and stuff. But this is active dry yeast. I want it to bloom. I like to make sure that my yeast is good before I, go in and waste a bunch of ingredients and my yeast not being good. So anyways, I just like to bloom my yeast before I get started. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add probably a teaspoon of sugar to that. And what that does, it just feeds your bloom a little bit and just helps it out a little bit. So I'm going to set this to the side. and the other ingredients that we need. And I'm just doing it by hand. You can do this with your KitchenAid. I usually use my NutriMill Artiste, but I'm just going to do it by hand this morning. This is for breakfast. I don't want to, mess up just a whole lot this morning. So while this is blooming, we're going to add our sugar, which is 1/3 cup. Not made this in a while, so I'm trying to make sure. And this is in my second cookbook, Just That Easy, page 41, and it says the best sweet dough for cinnamon rolls or raisin bread or sweet rolls or anything like that. Page 41, Just That Easy Cookbook. So we got 1/3 cup of sugar. We're going to go ahead and put our vanilla in here. And the vanilla is what gives this dough such a good taste when you're making cinnamon rolls and sweet rolls of any kind. It just brings it over the top, and it just makes it taste so good. So it calls for 1 tablespoon of vanilla. So I know that sounds like a lot, but you're going to have around 4 cups to 4.5 cups of flour in here too. And this is a sweet dough. It's going to have that vanilla taste to it. People that have made this recipe absolutely love it, especially making cinnamon rolls. They have contacted me and said how much they really enjoyed this recipe for making their cinnamon rolls. Says it always works out so well for them. So we got our sugar, our vanilla. We need 3 egg yolks. No, 4 egg yolks, I'm sorry. Look how pretty them things are. Really bright yellow. So 4 egg yolks. Okay, we have our sugar, our vanilla, our egg yolks, and I'm fixing to pour in my melted butter. This is 6 tablespoons of butter. And it's a little bit warm. You want to make sure that it's not hot. In fact, you want to really cool it down. I'm just going to slowly stir it in here. Make sure it doesn't scramble my egg yolks. Cook my egg yolks here. I posted this dough video several years ago, and it's had, I can't tell you, I think it's close to 2 million views. I'd have to go back and look. But anybody that's made this sweet dough says that it's so easy to work with, and it just has just a really good, like that homemade bakery taste to it. It's not too yeasty, and people really like it. You can also use this dough to make like raisin bread, a couple of loaves of raisin bread. You can even make hot rolls with it or anything like that. It's going to be a little bit sweeter because it is a sweet dough. That's why we use it for making cinnamon rolls, sweet rolls, cinnamon bread, stuff like that. Okay, so we got that mixed up. I'm going to repeat it one more time. That was our butter, sugar, vanilla, egg yolks. So what you're going to do now is you want to go ahead, and my yeast, you can tell it's good, it's active. I can see that it's active. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour it in here with my other ingredients. But in my bread bowl, I've got 4 cups of all-purpose flour. And I'm going to need a teaspoon of salt. This recipe will be down in my information box below the video. So 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just going to use my dough whisk. Now this will go a lot faster for you if you do it in your mixture with your dough hook. So now we're just going to pour our wet ingredients in there. Now, usually you're going to end up with what I call, y'all have heard me say this before, shaggy dough. And that's what you want. And believe me, when I'm cooking and baking, I make a mess. So you're going to see flour flying sometimes. Okay, we're going to pour the rest of it. Now you can use any dough recipe that you prefer to use. You may have your favorite one. This one is mine for sweetbread. Now you see what I'm talking about when I say it's going to be pretty loose. Now, the recipe does call from anywhere to 3 to 4.5 cups of flour. You can also use bread flour for this if you want to. So when it's this sticky, and I see it just needs maybe another 1/2 cup of flour. You don't want to put too much flour because you want a real nice loose dough. So that was 4.5 cups. And like I tell you all the time in making bread, you know, each day can differ about your hydration. I'm just going to get in here with my hands now. And if you were doing this with a mixer, you just go ahead and let it mix a while and knead that dough for you. And it's going to be sticky. And that's the way you want it. I had somebody comment one time a while back, and they had made this, and they could not understand. Their dough just wasn't turning out. It was too stiff. So you always want to start out with just 3 cups, and then start adding. Now you don't want that big old stiff dough, because you won't have a good product, your end product. This dough is just about right. You can see it's sticky, but it's not like sticking to my hands like you see on this side. It's all about hydration and, you know, how your day is. Is it a dry day in your house? You have the wood cook stove going like we do some, you know, during winter time, and the house is really dry. Is there a lot of humidity? So if this is in your mixer, just let it keep mixing till it pulls all the flour together to a ball, and just let it knead in there till it gets to the right consistency of your flour. I'm just going to flour my hands a little bit. I'm not really going to mess with it a whole lot. Just knead it a little bit. Then I'm going to put it in a bowl, a different bowl with a little oil in it. Doesn't matter what kind of oil you use, or you can use butter. And I'm going to let it rise for about an hour in a warm place. So there is our beautiful sweet dough. But like I said, if you already have your favorite semi-roll recipe, just use it. But this is all about the recipe that I seen Tashia use in making her lemon rolls. Okay, dough feels good. It's right where I want it. So we'll cover it up. Let it rise about an hour. Be a good boy and rise like you're supposed to. So today I think I'm just going to take y'all outside, and I want to show y'all what
Danny's been working on. He has really transformed my cottage garden to a lot of these gardening and different channels from over in France, over in the UK, places like that. And they have the most beautiful cottage gardens you've ever seen, and it really inspires me. That's just the kind of garden that I really enjoy, besides my vegetable garden, of course. But you can put so many flowers and beautiful things even in your vegetable garden and just make it look like a place that you want to be, even in the hottest part of the summer, when you just really dread going out there because it's so hot. But Danny and I, we kind of can work with each other like that, because I can have the idea and he's the one that usually can put it together. And I know sometimes he gets, like, oh, not another project, I'm sure. But I know that he understands that that's just how Miss Lori rolls, and that's the way I've always rolled. And even my own children know that my home is like my canvas. I've never had a lot of money, but I've always just done the best I could and worked with things that I had, and just, I just have this imagination, I guess, and I can just visualize things and see things and know that I can somehow do that and it not cost me a lot of money, or I can save my money up a couple of years and maybe get it done. And that's just that's the way we've always done things. But I just always get these things in my head, and I can walk around my 20 acres, or walk around my cabin, walk around the garden, or even the chicken house in the back garden, and down by the pond and out in the woods, and I can just visualize so much. And if there's any way that I know in my own mind that I can make it happen, I try very hard, and I'm kind of stubborn that way, I guess. But I guess that's my peace, and I find my peace in quiet, simple things when my mind can focus mainly on the Lord and nothing else. When I'm out in my garden, I can focus so much on, that peace of mind, and not everything, crazy, and because it's always been there, There's always been trials and tribulations from the beginning of time. It's never ceased. But it does cease to amaze me that some of the things that go on. But you know what? I give it to the Lord, because in the end, He's the one that's going to be our total judgment. And, so I can't sit around and just constantly worry about stuff, or your life will be so miserable. You won't be able to enjoy anything. So being out in my garden kindly brings me back to earth, for sure. And I really get excited this time of year, because I think of all and not just my cottage garden and the vegetable garden, but different plants that I'll be, potting up and putting in bigger pots, and maybe some that I may be even going to buy to put out on my porch, because my extended porch out here is like an extended living area for us. We spend a lot of time out there. I cook out there. We sit out there. My grandkids love it out there. And so it's just a part of this cabin. It's a part of our home. So you just always think about that stuff. But anyways, when I was thinking about making some cinnamon rolls, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do some lemon rolls, and I'm going to use, I want to try Tasha's recipe for her filling for the lemon rolls because I've never done it that way. And I can tell already that they're going to be delicious. I've got my lemon juice. I had 3 small lemons, and so I juiced 2 of them, and I got the zest off 2 of them. So I got all that ready. It's just simple, few ingredients for your filling, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Danny's out there right now on the tractor. He had to take the trash up for the trash truck. We do have a trash service that runs way out here in the hills too, believe it or not. So he said he was going to find some big rocks to put down where when we have a big rain, and we haven't had one in a while, we are so dry, y'all. And the pond tries to fill up. There is a culvert that water will come down, off the side of the hill, and then even from our neighbor's pond. When it overfills, it's right by our a gully that goes down through there, and it'll come over and it'll go down, and it'll go through that culvert, and then it goes right into our pond. Well, over the years, it's kind of made a big hole as the water comes out of that culvert, so it's trying to fill it up with a few rocks. So he's doing that today. It's been raining. We do have some more storms coming in. Sun's not shining right now, but we're still going to get out there and do a few things. But I want to take y'all out there and show you what's already been done to the cottage garden. I still haven't started my cabinet, y'all. I know y'all waiting for me to get it painted. So after I kind of get caught up on my cookbooks that are going out to the post office, and I want to thank everybody so much for y'all's support and y'all's orders for my first and my second cookbook. And if you haven't got in on that and you want to, you've seen at the beginning of the video that I talk about it, and I even put the price and how to order it. But I also always have it down in my information box below every video. So if you're watching on TV, you'll have to go to your phone or to your computer or something like that, and you'll have to, go down below that video and click on that word more or whatever it says on your device. And all my information, playlist to all my videos and just different stuff is always in that information. And I will have the link to Country Living with Tashia and a couple more. And of course, my daughter's channel, Gathered in Grace. Brittany just started her channel. And, just like all of us content creators, we all started out brand new. And it is such a learning curve. And as you go on, you learn so much more, and things get easier and they get a little bit better. But I always loved it when I had so much support starting my channel. There were so much kind people out there that, just supported me. And even if the video was not perfect, they didn't try to nitpick things. They just told me how much they enjoyed, being in my kitchen with me and me just sharing. And I hope that that's how y'all treat other people. That's how other content creators. I know that y'all do. It's hard when, especially starting out, and somebody's really picking on you, and you're like, give me a break. But that's just, I guess that's part of it. But my community are really good people, and y'all just really are sweet, supportive people, and that's what everybody. It don't matter if you're a content creator, if you're a lunchroom lady, or if you're a custodian, if you're out there digging ditches. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing in life. You deserve kindness, and that's just what I get on my soapbox on that a lot, because I don't understand. I mean, maybe you can tell me. And since the beginning of time, it's been this way. There's been meanness and unkindness. And I don't understand that concept, because my concept is, I I want to give kindness, and I want to receive it. And that should be anybody. Everybody wants that. They want love. They want kindness. They want support. So when I get in my soapbox about that, I can get kind of riled up sometimes. So I try not to go there. But a lot of y'all that are my subscribers and my friends and my family, my YouTube family, we'll talk back and forth about this, how certain people can just come into our lives, whether if we're right there with them or not. Sometimes we can feel like we're right there, and we want to share with them. We like what they're sharing, and we just like their company because they're kind people. And, if you love the Lord as much as I do, and you know that He loves you, you know that all that's going to come from you is kindness. Now, that being said, I can be a mama bear. I can be a mama bear real quick when it comes to my family. But I figure we're all that way, aren't we? But anyways, I'm hoping that these storms come in tonight aren't too bad, because I don't like bad storms anyway, severe storms. But when they start talking, chances of tornado, and it's in the middle of the night when people are sound asleep, I don't like that. So I'm going to say my prayers that subsides, and that there's no tornadoes and nobody hurt. But my dough is still rising, and I absolutely cannot wait to get them things made and taste them. And I think I'm going to start some breakfast, because I know he's fixing to come in probably. I'll fry him some bacon and some eggs and stuff. I got some homemade bread, of course, and I'll toast him up some bread. But anyways, these lemon sweet rolls was going to be for breakfast, but I'd have had to got up way early and got them started, and I didn't do it. I didn't get up early enough. So anyways, what we don't eat, we'll eat one, and probably put one back for tomorrow, and then the rest of them will go to the kids and grandkids. But anyways, we'll wait around and let everything proof up, and then we'll get our sweet rolls going. But meanwhile, we'll go out and we'll look at what's going on outside at the cottage garden. And I hope y'all are having a beautiful day, regardless if it's sunny or cloudy or warm or cold. Or just make the best of it, because that's all we can ever do. But I don't eat bad. Some people it's just the way it is. I've been that way since I was a young girl, very healthy young girl. Nothing bad, but just not as good as his. I think I'm going to cook the rest of this bacon instead of putting any of it back. I've been buying, of course, we haven't raised a hog in several years. So we don't have any fresh meat, pork, or bacon, but, and there's really not any for sale around here from the market or anything. So I've been going to Sam's Club about once a month, and they had the big box of the restaurant style bacon. And I've always liked that bacon. In fact, it's the bacon that we always used at the school. And I always love that bacon. Um, some people like a leaner bacon, and I like a little fat on my bacon, of course, because I like to get all that rendered bacon lard off there for cooking with too. But it's hard to find good bacon anymore unless, you raise it your own. Like I said, we haven't raised a hog in a couple of years. So, uh, in fact, as high as feed and stuff is, we're better off just trying to find what we can, a good source of meat. And because, I'm not cooking as much as I used to when I had a house full. My family was just, a house full of kids. So it's just me and Danny most mornings. So I don't need all that. And, it takes a couple of years to realize after feeding so many that, you don't need all that food. You just need enough to sustain you and keep you fed. Is all you need. So anyways, we're going to get breakfast cooked for him, get at least started. So I hope everybody's feeling well. I know I've talked to several people that's got some illnesses and some trials going on with cancer and things like that. And you're always in our prayers. Always remember how you're in our prayers all the time. And if you need prayers, you always contact us through my email. And we will, of course, say a special prayer for you with anything that you're fighting and going through. So I'm just cutting a couple pieces of bread there to toast up. I need to wrap this up. I just made this bread. It came out hot last night. I mean, it was late, and I ended up just covering it up till this morning. I need to get it wrapped up now. So I'll toast him up some bread and some eggs, some bacon, and it'll be getting close to getting them lemon rolls started. The filling is so easy. I know this is going to be so good. Now, I think Tasha just done a half, and I'm going to do a whole stick of butter, softened. She done half a stick. I'm just going to double the recipe. Then she took, I think, a half a cup of sugar. I'm going to do a whole cup of sugar. Now, this is just the filling. This isn't the icing for the cinnamon rolls. Or not cinnamon rolls, but the sweet rolls. Lemon rolls. And then I squeezed out the lemon juice out of 2 small lemons. I'm going to start with a tablespoon. I'm going to put another tablespoon, so that's about 2 tablespoons. And you just want to mix that up really well because this is what you're going to spread over your dough before you roll it up. It smells so good. And I even have let's see, there's close to over 2 teaspoons of lemon zest here that I'll be putting over the filling too. And it'll just give it, she put some over her filling. So, that give it even more of a lemony, fresh taste. Okay. That is lemony, and that is going to be so good. So, the rest of this I'm going to use for my icing when I make the icing for the lemon rolls. So, there you go. That is all it is to it, to the filling of the lemon rolls, sweet rolls. And I can tell you that these are going to be delicious. Anybody that loves anything lemon, like I do, and a lot of my kids do too, and grandkids, they're going to really like this. I think Danny's going to like it too because it just has that really fresh lemony taste. So that's all there is to that. I took half of my dough out and left the rest of it in the bowl because I can only work with with half of it at a time. That's all I got room for. But you can see this dough is so forgiving. It's so easy to work with. So you just want to roll it out pretty thin into kind of a rectangle. You can roll it out. Okay. Now we're just going to take our filling. I'm going to put half of it on this one. You just want to spread it around on your top of your dough. I'm thinking I may, well, I thought about doing the other half just regular cinnamon rolls, but I don't know. I think these are going to be so good. We'll see. I know that I just like a lot of filling in my cinnamon rolls, I keep saying cinnamon rolls, but my sweet rolls. I think I will. I think I'll make these lemon, and then the other part of the dough I'll make just regular. I might even get some of my canned apples out and do apple cinnamon rolls. Be good. Yeah, I think that'll work out good because I like lots and lots of filling. I can't wait to try these because I love anything lemon. Now, like I said, I have made like blueberry rolls with lemon icing, but I've never made lemon rolls before. Oh, it smells so good. So fresh with that real lemon juice. Now, I'm sure you can do this with bottled lemon juice if that's all you can get, all you got. It'll be good. Okay. Now I'm going to take some of this lemon zest that I've got. We're going to gild the lily, which y'all know I like to do. And I might save just a little bit of that. So these are going to have to go through another rise. And like I said, these will go through another rise, so they will hopefully fill my dish up pretty good. So we'll cover that up, and I'm going to let them sit and rise for about another 30 minutes. Okay, this is our other half of our dough that we're just going to make some regular cinnamon rolls with maybe some apples or pears or something. And I've just got a half a stick of butter that I melted, and I'm just going to spread it over this dough.
Now, if you wanted to, you didn't have to melt your butter. You could just spread it on there at room temperature. I already had this butter melted, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. And just make sure that you get it to the outer edge of your dough. Some people will either they'll get their butter at room temperature, and they'll go ahead and mix their sugar and cinnamon with their butter and spread it over the dough like that. You can do that too if you want to. Okay, we're just going to sprinkle as much cinnamon and sugar as your heart desires. Mr. Brown likes a lot of cinnamon. I've got a couple of little containers with sugar and cinnamon mixed up because we use a lot of sugar and cinnamon mix. And it's probably going to take most of what I've got too. Let me get my other one. So I'm just going to cover this really well. I'm going to gild the lily on this one too, and I'm going to put some brown sugar. We used to make so many homemade cinnamon rolls at school. Big old batches of them. Big old long work table just rolled out cinnamon rolls. Okay, I've got some of my pears, but you can replace it with any kind of fruit. And I did drain the juice out because I don't want any juice on my dough. You can use apple, you can use peach, apricot. You can do this. So many different fruits. I canned these up, I think about 4 years ago, and they're still really good. I've only got a few jars of pears left, and I'm completely out of apples. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some chopped pecans to this. That's just optional. You can even add walnuts if you want to. I'll roll this up. And I buttered my other baking dish. This one's going to be a little bit fatter because it's got more thicker filling in it. I get my dish. What is y'all's favorite rolls? Is it just regular cinnamon rolls, or do you like putting different fruits in them? This is a really good way to use up your canned fruits that's like mine, like these pears have been in there for, well, almost 4 years. It's still good. The last two end pieces, what I like to do, because they're always so thin, is I just take them and put them together and then roll them up like that and make one. Okay, well, my mic quit on me, so maybe y'all can hear me out here in this wind. Hear the birds singing, the winds are blowing. Tank's supervising again. But I just want to come out here and show y'all what Danny's been working on, and I'm very proud of it. Picket fence around my cottage garden is something that I've just always wanted and just never would spend the money on it. We found the picket fences at Home Depot. Of course, nothing's cheap. They weren't too bad. They were between $40 and $50 per panel, about 3.5 foot tall, 8 foot long. And of course, we didn't go all the way around the big garden. We just come around where the cottage part of my garden is, where the flowers and herbs and all that is. Then the rest of the garden, of course, is out there around a bigger fence. And then the archway here, a Mennonite family made this for me. They build these, and they build swings and different kinds of arbors and gazebos and tables and lawn furniture. And they built this for me so it would fit right in there as an archway going into the cottage garden. Danny had to cut just a piece off of one end of a panel, and we still have that over here. We got that piece left to kind of fill in this gap. So, but what I want to say about this most of all is to thank all my supporters, my YouTube family, because of my cookbook sales and support, Miss Lori got a picket fence and her archway around her garden. So, I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's so worth it, and it's just so worth being able to share with y'all too. So I don't just look at this and think this is just my cottage garden with the picket fence and the archway. I think as of our cottage garden, mine and yours, my YouTube family, my supporters, y'all are so good to us. So this is for y'all as I work it and make it as pretty as I can. I always want y'all to share with me what y'all think I should, of course it's little, it's not gonna be real big, but I can still get lots of herbs and flowers in here. And on the inside, I'm gonna try to go around the border of this fence somehow or another, probably in containers with different kinds of plants and flowers. Also, with y'all's input, I'm gonna have something growing on each side of the archway. I'll have a planter here and then a planter there. So I don't know if I want to do climbing roses, if I want to do trumpet vine, clematis. I mean, there's so many different things. So y'all give me some ideas in the comments, because I will be doing that pretty soon. Hank likes the cottage garden too. Ooh, the sun's come out. It was really gloomy and cloudy a while ago. And my little scare princess over there, Miss Adele, I'm going to get her a new hat and fix her clothes up pretty soon. She's had a rough winter. But anyways, so you can see it's just right here by the greenhouse where you walk in like this. Of course, nothing's looking very good in here right now, y'all. A lot of work to do. Not quite time for all the flowers to be up and everything just to be thick and beautiful, but I have a lot of ideas for going around the edges and different things. We're still working on the big garden. I think now that we've got potatoes in, I'm going to plant my green peas down through there pretty soon. My little water fountain, I guess it thinks it's it was froze up. It's so funny, it was froze up them 2 weeks. It was so awful. It froze up. Now it's back to life. I had some little frogs that lived in there too. You'd come out here and walk around, they'd jump back in there. I'm sure they're froze out and gone now. So anyways, over in this one, I do have onions. I'm going to be planting some Swiss chard pretty soon. Whoops, it's not wanting to focus. In between the onions. I've still got to amend this over here, put more soil and compost in it. This one too, because I'm fixing to transplant a bunch of, let's see, beets and some lettuces, and there's a few cabbage too. Over there, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I've got some garlic that I planted in the fall, and it's doing very, very well since we've had warm weather and sunshine. This one right here, I've got onions around the side, but I will be planting, not sure yet when we plant in the middle of that. All these right here are full of flowers already, flower seeds. Maybe putting more flowers around there. This right here is full of lavender. And I want you to look at the little violet. These made it all winter underneath that row crop cover. They are so, I mean, if you can cover them up, they'll make it all winter. It's really something. So this bed's got to be cleaned out a little bit. It's got chamomile, lavender, and some different herbs in it, and the little fountain. All this has to be cleaned up. I'm going to have to replant another rose here. That one is not looking too good. I'm going to put some more rosemary in this container. I'd like to see that thing completely full. And just different things are going on. I want to show y'all how I'm starting some beets and lettuce. This is just a whole bag of potting soil, and I had this see-through container that doesn't have the lid for it, but I didn't throw it away. And I just planted my seeds in there just like that just a couple of days ago. I keep it watered. It's just like its own little greenhouse. Then once they get big enough to transplant it, I won't let that potting soil go to waste. I'll use it for potting up other plants. So I think he's done a really good job. I can't wait when everything just starts blooming and filling up and get it all done. It's gonna look really sweet. So y'all let me know in the comments what you think I should plant on both sides of the arch to climb over the archway. Roses, trumpet vine, just give me some ideas. I mean, I know a couple of things I'd like to do, I just can't make up my mind. And you look through I don't know if you can see it, look through the archway, you can see my cherry tree back there in bloom. So pretty. That's the back garden, that's where all the blackberries and fruit trees and stuff like that are. Come on, Hank. Oh, Hank. Come on, Hank. Okay, let's get our icing made for our lemon rolls. I've got a half a stick of butter, and I've got 4 ounces of cream cheese in here, and I'm just going to get creamed up really good. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to put the rest of the lemon zest in there. I'm going to put about a cup of powdered sugar. And this is plenty for that many or lemon rolls. I'm going to add just a little more lemon juice so I can get the consistency that I need. It's smells absolutely wonderful. And that's just about right. So now let's make our icing for our cinnamon rolls. Okay, for the cinnamon rolls, we're going to make just a real loose drizzle icing for it. I've just got a half a stick of butter, softened butter, that I'm going to cream up real good. I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And I have got some apple cider here. You can use apple juice. If you don't have apple cider or apple juice, you can just use milk. And I'm using a cup of powdered sugar again. I'm going to add just a little more apple cider because I want this to really be loose where I can drizzle it. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay, that's just about right. That's where I need it. So both the icings are ready. Okay, guys, these things are barely cooled off, and I had to go ahead and ice them because we have got to get out the door. We've got to go to my daughter's house, and we've got some things we've got to do.
I packed a photo of us from our very first date. You packed the water 'cause I couldn't carry the weight. And into the ashes you carved out a heart with our names. I can still picture your smile through the mask on your face. And we keep dancing through siren sound. They drown the crying out, but there's nothing to cry about.
Okay, I'm in the mood for a cold, creamy cucumber salad. That was hard to say. I sliced up a whole, this is an English cucumber. I love these things, and I just sliced them up on my mandolin. Just got them about this thick. That's about the size I like. I like to leave the skin on, but you can take the peeling off if you want to. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of salt over it, and that's going to draw out some moisture because you don't want it to be watery. So just sprinkle a little bit of salt, kind of spread them out in your colander. And I'm going to let them set for about 15 minutes. Okay, I'm also going to be using some purple onion. I just cut them up on my mandolin real thin. And I'm going to put them in some cold water for about 15 minutes. And that just kind of helps the, you know how stout onions can be. That's supposed to help it a little bit. Sometimes it does and sometimes it don't. But we're just going to about 15 minutes and see if it helps just a little bit. It's hard to find a good sweet onion anymore. Okay, let's make our dressing. This is going to be really easy. And this is one of my favorite dressings too for cucumber salad. It's a tablespoon of mayonnaise and a half a cup of sour cream, if I can get it open. Now you can double this recipe, y'all. You can do 2 of your English cucumbers and a whole onion, and then just double the dressing recipe. So half a cup of sour cream, or you can use plain yogurt if you want to in place of the sour cream. Now you need some vinegar, and this is my favorite vinegar to use. This is rice wine vinegar. You just need about a teaspoon or so. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of sugar. You can use a sugar substitute. I'm going to put just about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A good squirt of lemon. And some black pepper. Now, the thing about this is, most of the time, I'll come back and I'll taste it. And I may have to add a little bit more salt. And I may have to add a little bit more pepper. A little bit more garlic. You just never know. That's why I always taste it when I get it done. And this is dill weed. Now, in the summertime, when I have got an abundance of fresh dill, I will put 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh dill. But since I don't, and I'm using dill weed, I put a teaspoon of dried dill weed in here. But anytime that you use fresh dill, it's just so good. Can't even compare. I want to sprinkle, I don't know, probably a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. But like I said, taste it. And if you need a little bit more garlic, you can put a little bit more garlic in it. You can also put some red pepper flakes in it too. I've got a granddaughter that'll be eating some of this, so I better pepper flakes out. Now I made sure that I drained the cucumbers and the onions really good, and then I patted them dry. Because if you don't, your dressing's not going to stick to them. And I like to make this a couple hours ahead of time and stick it back in the fridge. And it's usually pretty good the next day too. Now, if it was summertime and I had some of my really good cherry tomatoes, I'd cut them in half and I would add it to this too. But I was just really craving cucumbers and a cucumber salad. And of course I had all the ingredients for this, and it's easy to whip up, and it's also delicious. Don't you just sometimes just crave the vegetables and a cold salad? I mean, I do a lot because I absolutely love vegetables, especially in the summertime when they're coming off fresh out of the garden. Mr. Brown likes cold salads too. So I hope you try it.
Eastern Arkansas, southern Sharp County in north central Arkansas until 8:15 a.m. At 7:20 a.m. A severe thunderstorm was located over Sweet, or 12 miles southeast of Melbourne, northeast at 60 miles per hour.
We need the rain so bad, but I don't like the storms. sad thing of it was that as soon as I got them lemon rolls and cinnamon rolls out of the oven, we had to leave. That we had somewhere we had to be. So I had to rush around and get ready, get them out of the oven, and of course I already had my icing made for both of them. So even while they were still hot, I had to throw that icing on there, and before I even let it cool down very much, but it still worked out. But so we had to be out the door, so we didn't have time to film us tasting these wonderful rolls. But let me tell you something. I'm telling on Mr. Brown because I had stuff I was taking out to the truck to leave, and he was getting ready, but he seen them cinnamon rolls up here and already had the icing on it and everything. And when I walked back in, he was eating one, and he said, man, that's hot, it's burning my tongue, it's burning back in my throat, but he just kept eating. So it must have been pretty good. But anyways, I loaded some up and took them to my daughter's house too. We went over there to, Danny put a screen door on her front door for her, and we just had a lot to do. So anyways, so they turned out really good, y'all. And Brittany, she ate 2 of them. She said they were so good. And Danny, he just loved them too. So, you know, usually we try to taste stuff for y'all and show y'all if, you know, if it's any good. But anyways, you see Hank in the background there. They were good. So we just run out of time. Sometimes that happens, but life is so busy. There he is. He must be. I tell you what Hank's starting to do. He's starting to hunt squirrels, y'all. And he's almost tracking them too. And so I don't know. He may end up being a squirrel dog instead of a duck dog before it's over with. But he's a good dog. We got quite a bit of rain. The storm was coming through, and we did not get any tornadoes or anything like that. We got a little bit of wind, but there are some people that were devastated by these storms after they come through here, and even the night before up in Michigan, Wisconsin. Am I saying that right? Is it Wisconsin? I hope I'm right on that. But anyways, there was some devastation up, and it's a couple of states with tornadoes, and it's so sad. I'm telling you, tornadoes just every year just devastate and take lives, and I'm telling you, it's a scary situation for sure. So our prayers are out for all these families, and they're suffering from the storms, and it's just Mother Nature, or whatever you want to say. It's just something that we can't control. You know, people call it Mother Nature, but it's just nature, and it's like I said, I can't control it. If I could, I would just say rain come, and you know, for our gardens and for our ponds and, you know, the land, but no storms. But we can't control it ourselves, so. But it is pretty devastating. So our prayers go out to anybody that was affected by these storms. And I think today there was some that went through Ohio. So I'm sure I'm missing somebody. But if I am, I'm sorry, but our prayers are with you. So anyways, we did get some rain, some much needed rain, and then in a couple of days from now we're going to be getting a little bit more rain. I think there's even a chance for more storms somewhere in the middle of the week. So if y'all are in the path of any storms again in this week or this weekend, please be safe, and always listen to your weather. And if you listen to Ryan Hall or Max Velocity or your own, we listen to all of them, and we listen to our own local news person, because you know, they're going to be keeping an eye on us, so we always do that. But anyways, I just had to get on here and tell y'all that they did get tasted and they were good. But I just laughed when I walked in and seen Danny, and he done burned his tongue on these very hot cinnamon rolls. He just couldn't take it anymore. He had before we went out the door, he had to taste one. But anyways, I hope that y'all have had a beautiful weekend. I'm trying to get this up on Sunday, and it seems like everything's been so busy the last couple of weeks. I'm having a really hard time getting 2 videos out a week, but I'm trying really hard. And So I'm working on books, of course. Me and my daughter are working on our book orders, trying to get them out. And there's been, my post office box is full every day when I go in. I want to thank y'all so much. So it will take a while for us to get through them, and for y'all, some of y'all, you know, to get your books, but just know that they are coming to you just as fast as we can fill them and get them to the post office, and just as soon as they can get them to you. So thank y'all for your support. We appreciate it. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, I'll be seeing you in a few days, but next couple of days, just be blessed and know that we love y'all, but especially God loves you. So bye-bye for now.